So like we were talking about valuing and protecting your future, if you have good friends, treat them like treasures. Make sure that you have the same value system going on, the same values. My youngest daughter, I remember she was so heartbroken in 9th grade. She found one girl in the universe who was waiting until marriage to have sex. And she was so strong and she was cute as a button. And like 3 months into their relationship, I dropped her off at her house, I picked her up. She broke down in tears and cried for 3 days because her friend proudly announced that she had gone out to have sex with a guy just to get it over with. 14 years old, and my daughter was heartbroken, because she felt she can't have the same relationship, and she didn't because her friend was doing other things, but also she felt heartbroken for her friend, But payback came when she was a senior in high school. I have pictures of my daughters. They're gorgeous. They're so nice, inside and out. Now, this one's a math and science teacher. And I saw when they're getting all dressed up at the high school, they're wearing the gowns, and she had gorgeous girlfriends, but they always kind of dumped her. They said, we'll pick you up. They didn't pick her up because when she was 16, she had a sweet 16 party. I never heard of these things, but it says, we have our finished basement. You can stay up as late as you want. No boys, they got to leave at 10. Not one of her girlfriends showed up. She had 13 close friends, gorgeous girls. And she said, why didn't you come to my sweet 16? You know what they said to her? Naomi, you're 16 years old. You're not doing drugs. You're not having sex. What are you waiting for? And these were straight-A students. They had boyfriends. They actually were going steady with boys, gorgeous girls. Scholarships to colleges. On graduation day from high school, they're all crying on my daughter's shoulder while they're waiting for the ceremony to begin. I go, oh, Naomi, are they leaving town to go to college or something? Why were they crying? She says, Mommy, all of my friends were saying we would do anything to undo what we've done. We would do anything to undo what we've done. And then one day because we had a family computer, this is really back in the day, in the 90s, and there's little blue pieces of paper. They were the pledge sheets that I used to give in the schools. All of her friends made her their mentor because they wanted to become secondary virgins, which we'll talk about. So it's very interesting. So we want to talk about protecting our future. The best way to protect our future is to make healthy choices. It is not unusual when I go into the schools and I'll have, especially 7th and 8th graders say, yo, Miss Linda, but you got to learn from your mistakes. And I says, yeah, that's true. But nowadays, your mistakes can kill you. I say the wise young person today, how about learning from the mistakes of other people? We can learn from the mistakes. Like, I like to watch bots. Does anybody watch Battle of the Bots? Gee, I'm so nerdy. Anyway, they learn from the mistakes of other people, how they build their robots and everything. It's amazing. So we want to protect our future by making healthy choices, but when we look around us, it is hard to know what a healthy choice is. One of the ways you can tell a healthy choice, what are the consequences? What could happen? How would this impact my future? See, it's kind of not fair to you because what age does your brain finally mature? And that's every research I read even today. What year do you think your brain becomes mature? 21. Anybody else? 25. Give them a great big hand. Hit it on the noggin. 25 years old. So even, you'll see, and I'm sure some of the parents here can say, yeah, when I was 19, I thought, I'm grown. I should be able to do what I want. Then when I'm 25, I'm thinking, dang, I'm lucky to be alive. But now I'm grown. And then 35. Oh, man, what was I thinking when I was 25? I'm almost 75, and I'm thinking, I was in a haze back then. Like, what was I smoking? Anyway, we want to be honest, have honest success. How would you feel? You have 2 wonderful sons who look up for you, and you're an athlete. You're in the NFL, and then there's a big knock on the door. Bam, 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 bam. So sorry, sir, but we found out that you were cheating, and that's why you got those big, magnificent awards over your fireplace. We came to take back your awards." And the little boys are saying, "You can't take Daddy's awards. Those are Daddy's awards. Oh, don't take our awards. Daddy, you lied? You cheated? Daddy, you cheated? How do you feel? Your sons find out you cheated. It's kind of sad, right? So we want to have honest success that nobody can take away from you, like him. Honest success. And we want to have lasting happiness. Too many times our friends, they're taking happiness in the moment instead of happiness over the long term. There's so many, once I started making better choices, which to be honest has a lot to do with this program. You know, sometimes people say, "Well, I'm churched. In our church, we don't mess around and do those kind of things." But you know what happens? Then someday somebody comes along and you go, "Church, what church?" Parents, what parents? So we want lasting happiness. You know, a lot of adults, you know, when I was speaking to my drug addicts, and they look just like anybody else. They don't look all smoked out and everything. They look just like anybody else. You would not know they were a drug addict and even had a prison record if you met them on the street. They go, "Miss Linda, I wish I had you in school back in the day when I was growing up. I would not have the regrets that I have today." This is what grown men, primarily men that I was teaching would tell me, you know. So it's having lasting happiness. Also having true freedom that no one can take away from you. Sometimes it's really hard for us to understand these things, you know, but in the future, I promise you, you'll really understand. Like those guys that have prison records, do you think they have freedom? They're not doing drugs anymore, but every time they want a good job, it's hard because of the prison record. You know, it's very difficult. And how did drugs affect their brain so they couldn't study the way they wanted to? You know, they just were fitting in. When I asked my guys that had prison records, "What age did you start using?" It might have been alcohol, marijuana, whatever. They said 12. 12, you know. So the quick and easy, and this is what I find a lot of. People are in such a rush to become grown. They think they're going to have freedom, be able to do whatever they want, whenever they want, however they want. They try to do the quick and easy to act like they're grown. What's some of the things people try to do that's quick and easy to act like they're grown? Come on, put on your thinking caps. Think about school. Smoking a cigarette. Smoking some weed. Come on, you like this. Come on, everybody's doing it. Yeah, you can do this. Drinking, throwing back the Chris, sipping the Henny, you know. It'll make you a man. Does getting high make you a man? No, it doesn't. It has the opposite effect. How about lying and sneaking around? If you can't tell your parents, the ones who are invested in your future, what you're doing, isn't that kind of a slow down sign? Pause. With our program, we just feel if we can just get people to pause, slow down, and think about the consequences. Just think about the consequences. So this person, I was a late bloomer. I graduated from college in 2014, behavioral science, and they were watching us like hawks. They knew every cheating way you could do, earbuds, writing on your hand, whatever, They knew. They had special software. That's why they want you to email everything to them, because they have software. They can tell who the original author of your essay is. If you copied a paragraph of something you wrote a year ago, 2 years ago with a totally different school or professor, they know it was you. That's called plagiarism. It's illegal to copy your own papers. Yeah, it's amazing. So you get kicked out of school, you lose your tuition, they don't pay you back, no refund. It's a big problem. Would you want to have surgery done on your children by a doctor who cheated his way through medical college? Probably not. Not even a dentist, right? Oh, come on, just take this little bag upstairs. They're going to give you another bag. Come down. We'll see who it is. This happens a lot. Are they going to say, I didn't know there was drugs in that bag? No, you're still going to prison. I was in a Piggly Wiggly parking lot in Mississippi, and there was these two teenagers, and they're watching the door. Next thing I see, cop car pulls up. A few minutes later, a 12-year-old with silver bracelets behind his back crying, and they stuck him in the cop car. Those were his brother and sister. They thought, well, they would never arrest a 12-year-old. Oh, yeah, they will. Oh, yeah, they will. I told my children, I find out you stole something, I'm taking you straight to the police department, turning you in myself. Do what you got to do. And I was the president of Neighborhood Watch. Yep, got to learn the hard way sometimes. Oops. The quick and easy, I'm in a dollar store, it's just $1 lipstick. Nobody will care. Do they care? Yes. Billions of dollars of dollar lipsticks is stolen every year, you know. Yeah, it's a huge deal. Plus, it's a huge deal for your future. One thing leads to another. This is what I find with bad habits, too. One thing leads to another. First, I'm just doing this. Then I'm just doing that. You get an emotional thrill in your brain. It's similar to doing drugs. You get a thrill by doing something wrong. So you keep doing it till you get caught. This is sad because this is happening all over America. The addiction rate and people overdosing on drugs. You know, they start off with something mild. Because I go to a lot of drug conferences, the detectives say we no longer call pot marijuana or pot or any of those names. We call it fentanyl because it's not even marijuana anymore. It's fentanyl. You could smoke one joint and become addicted for life just from one joint. It's not good. It's not good. So quick and easy. Oh, she got Chris Brown there. Yeah, that's probably above your pay grade there. But anyway, nobody deserves to be beat up. But I want to tell you, sometimes girls, they mess around with boys. They hit them, kick them between the legs. And most of the guys, especially the ones you probably know, are gentlemen. They're not going to hit you back. But one of these days, one of those girls is going to hit a boy having a bad day, and she may end up looking like that. You know, shouldn't we treat people the way we want to be treated? Always. Always. I mean, I never treat Gideon, he's one of my partners, like, you know I'm almost 100 years old, you know, and don't I always treat you with respect? You're my equal, absolutely, you know. Oh, boy, that looks familiar. Getting some flashbacks there. They're getting ready to do the horizontal mambo there. Yep, you're going to have to look that one up, too. So quick and easy. See, in her female brain, she's thinking, oh, it's so romantic, and my parents won't be home for a little while. And then he's looking straight into my eyes. I can tell he loves me. We're going to get married. We're going to name all of our children and picket fence. And he's thinking, did I bring my condoms? Going to hit a home run tonight? They may want to do you. They just don't want to marry you. It's unfortunate. And we have to protect our men from themselves. Because he's probably a really nice guy. But all he's doing, no way is he thinking about marriage. It's just practice. Do you want some other man to practice on your daughter, sir? No way. I always see the clenched jaw. And that's right. So don't allow ourselves to be in situations where things can occur. We're giving a wrong message to other people. It's not fair to them, you know. It's not fair to them. Is it easy being a single mother? No, it's not easy. I had 12-year-old girls that I was teaching back in the 90s. Oh, Miss Linda, you don't understand. If I had a baby, I could get SNAP, WIC, free rent, this, that, and the other thing. I didn't even know what those things were. And I said, does your mama know your life plan? No, my mother would kill me. She was a single mother, too. Of course she's going to kill her. She says, no, I want you to go to college, get a degree, you know. I remember one time, just really briefly, I saw a documentary from Mississippi Department of Health and Human Services, and the red and white checkered tablecloth, and the young girl, she was 15 years old, and her mama was sitting at the table, and her knees were knocking, and she was so scared, the little girl, you know. She had to tell her mama that she was pregnant, 3 months pregnant. Her mother was a single mother, always was working hard to put food on the table, a good woman, and she always said, you wait till you get married to have those babies. So she told her mama that she was 3 months pregnant, just assuming my mother's going to whoop me. She's going to wail on me. Her mother, I'll never forget, just looked at the red and white checkered tablecloth, and all of a sudden, rivers of tears fell from her eyes. And the girl says, oh, no, I made my mother cry. Oh, no. And so she felt so bad, and then she finally said to her mother, Mama, aren't you going to whoop me? Surely that would make her feel better. When her mother could compose herself, her mother says, baby girl, I don't have to whoop you. Life is going to whoop you. Life is going to whoop you. Mm-hmm. So we need to think, are we really getting what we want? And sometimes when we're growing up and those feelings come out like that, we feel like, yes, that's what I want. Because we're not thinking of consequences. Our brain is still immature. That's why we have parents. They're like a barometer. Parents need to learn how to have real conversations. Even my daughter sometimes would ask me questions, and inside I'm going, ah! But outside I go, I'm so glad you asked me that. Can I get back to you later? Because I wanted them to feel I am the person they can speak to, whether I felt prepared or not. And always, let's have a discussion. Because then before they speak to their friends, that's why they throw us away. They want to speak to their friends, and their friends are stuck on stupid. They're immature too, but they sound fun. They're the fun ones, right? So I always did drive-bys. When my daughter says, Mom, I'm going to go play basketball on the court, I go, okay. Always did drive-bys. And I told her, don't tell me you were in the bathroom. I'm doing drive-bys. Did you see my girl? Okay, so, when we look at the tunnel, this is like our goals in life. Our goals in life, they're this bright light at the end of the tunnel. And the track, the track is the way that we get there, But sometimes obstacles present themselves. We call them dream robbers. What are some obstacles that might keep you from accomplishing your goals and dreams? Tell me some obstacles. What are some challenges that make you want to wait, give up? Doing drugs and alcohol, that's right. Becoming a father when you're not ready. If you became a father at 15, sir, maybe you're older than that. How old are you, 18? 16. Okay. Became a father at 16, would that be okay? No. Because you want to be a good father, right? Yeah. How about if you became addicted to drugs? Every drug addict I ever talked to, and I've talked to a lot, they always said, I never thought it would happen to me. It would never happen to me. I had no idea. So dream robbers are bad choices. But all behavior begins with what? A thought, thinking about something. All behavior begins with a thought. So we have to have the right way of thinking too. We don't want to lose our goals and dreams through bad choices. Like this is a guy, he has AIDS. Back in the day when AIDS was really a household word, this was what we thought all people with HIV looked like too. But how many of you can tell by looking at me that I have HIV, the virus that leads to AIDS? Can you tell? No. Do you know why you can't tell? Because I don't got it. But if I did, I may not know myself because there's no signs or symptoms. So he's in the later stages. He could have been an athlete, but he can't even walk on his own. He's in a wheelchair This is Kaposi sarcoma, a very rare form of cancer, very common with AIDS patients. It covers your whole body. You can have big boils. And the reason he looks spaced out, because he probably wouldn't recognize his own mother if she walked in the room, because it attacks the brain. It attacks the brain, hearing, everything. Do you think he has some regrets about choices he made in life? Yeah. And this is an AIDS patient that has herpes. Now, typically herpes is a very common STD. Herpes typically might be the mouth, the genitals, the rectum, but because he has AIDS, the herpes is all over the body because he doesn't have an immune system to fight. Doesn't have an immune. I had so many teenagers that thought oral sex was safe. That's mouth to genitals. They thought that's safe sex, you know, and obviously it's not, you know, skin-to-skin contact. Well, would a condom have protected him? No. May have reduced his risk, but no, a condom. Will a condom protect your heart when that person dumps you for a better deal? No. So it's just something to be aware of. We don't make fun of them. It's sad. If they knew these things at the time, they could have made, you know, like sometimes, like Dr. Panzer was saying, some people say, well, I'm not going to do any of these things. None of my friends are going to do any of these things. Would you rather know about something before it happens to you or after? What's the benefits of knowing about something before it happens to you? Thank you. Better decisions. You have choices. We talk about choices and freedom. Once you have something, you have choices, but they're not so great. It's like, which medicine am I going to take? I have to tell this person that I was engaged to that I have this on my genitals. Do you think the person would want to marry me? No, they might be my best friend forever, but that would be tough. That would be tough. So there's 3 stages of the HIV disease. Human immunodeficiency, that means your immune system is deficient. V is for virus, means there's no real cure. I know there's medicine now that can reduce your viral load, but there's no real cure. When we started doing this program, everybody was talking about safe sex. Just practice safe sex. I had a boy, he said, we learned about safe sex today. So the next day when I says, who said I was teaching about safe sex wearing a condom, right? He raised his hand, 8th grader. I says, and I was going to give him a lecture, and I says, what is your definition of safe sex? He says, well, wait till I get married, right? I go, yes, sir, that is safe sex. So basically, there's 3 stages of the HIV disease. In the beginning, you're well, you're healthy. The person you're with, you have no idea they have it. They have no idea if you have it. Then through the exchange of body fluids, it's not through coughing and sneezing, it's not through shaking hands or giving high fives or playing basketball together. It's actually somebody's infected body fluids entering into your body through usually some sexual relationship or sharing drug injecting needles. So basically the first one, it's invisible. You have it now, but you don't know. What's the most common? You know, we have over 25 major STDs, very common, easy to get. But they all share the same symptom that HIV does. What's the most common sign or symptom that most common STDs share? No sign or symptom at all. So I'm going to ask you the question again. I want you to say it out loud. What's the most common sign or symptom that all STDs share? Say, no sign or symptom at all. You cannot tell by looking at somebody. Hello. Can I go to Dr. Gideon? I think I have an STD. Can you tell? Can he tell? No, he cannot tell by looking at me, even if he gave me a total physical without some samples. He has to send something to the lab. So if they can't tell, if you're naked under the sheets with somebody, how can you tell? How many think I'm trying to scare you not to have sex? How many think I'm trying to create an awareness so you make healthy choices? All the hands should go up. Okay. So then after 2 to 7 years, now it becomes symptomatic. We see the symptoms. Might be serious weight loss, you're trying to bulk up for the team, you can't. Why? Because you have chronic diarrhea. You can't control yourself. chronic diarrhea. You have fatigue. You're always tired, even after sleeping a long time. You have hot fevers that don't go away. Night sweats. It's like you wet your own bed because you're sweating so much. And swollen lymph nodes. And then it's around 10 years on the average later from the original time. This is when you got it, right? Now you're diagnosed with AIDS. Acquired, you went out and got it. One good thing about AIDS and HIV, unless you got it from your mama, you had to go out and get it. You had to stick somebody's needle in your arm. You had to have a sexual relationship with them. That's the good thing about it. We get 38,000 new cases every year just in this country alone. And we know about it, you know? Yeah, so acquired, that means you went out and got it. Immunodeficiency, your immune system is deficient, it's not doing its job. Syndrome, a group of health-related problems now invade what was a healthy body.
I have a question.
Yes?
Did you say that mothers can pass it on to their children?
Through breastfeeding. If I have HIV, right, and then I'm breastfeeding my baby, I can give it through breast milk, or I could do it through the birthing process. So those are the two ways. In utero, I don't think the baby has it until the birthing process. Yeah, until the birthing. Yeah, good question. Very good question. Because again, a lot of this is not common sense. It's things we've learned through decades, right? So this is a map of what country is this? China? Russia. Oh, USA. Very good. Very good. Okay, this is America, and this is Alaska, this is Puerto Rico, ¿qué pasa? And this is Hawaiian Islands. You know, we squished everything together. And this state here, we call this the state of confusion. That's New Jersey, where I'm from. And this yellow cluster of dots, that's where I first started teaching in Jersey City, Hollaback. So cumulative, that means when you gather all of them together, cumulative cases in the United States of AIDS, not even HIV, this is AIDS. In 1983, before you were a twinkle in your mama's eye, we had 1,000 cases confirmed of AIDS. In 1985, we had 10,000 cases. In 1989, we had 100,000 cases. Oh, Puerto Rico, lo siento, ¿qué pasa? What's happening here? Oh, New Jersey, whoo, in Pennsylvania, I thought this was just all chipmunks and deer. Oh my goodness. Florida, ooh, California. Now here you don't see a lot of cases. Why do you hardly see any cases here? Usually my 8th grade boys, they're very smart. They go, Miss Linda, I'm moving there tomorrow. Because what do you have here? You have farms, orchards. You don't have a lot of people. I've driven through all those states, you know. Here it's all desert, adobe. Yeah, not population. So again, it's not where you live that gives you these things. It's what you do. It's what you do. 1995, 500,000 cases in Puerto Rico. I don't know what to do with you. Again, with Alaska, this is solid ice. You know, only happy feet live here. And 1997, que lastima. This is a lot of people. You can run, but you can't hide. So this is the estimated HIV prevalence for people that are 13 and over by area of residence. So you see this is where you have the most cases, is the darker color. And then you have the purple color, you know, up to 11,000 to 24,000. This is just in 2016. With slides, you know, with data, you don't get the same year every year. You got to wait till all the data gets in, but it's not looking much better. Total over 1 million cases. And again, pretty much 100% avoidable. That's one thing that's good about HIV, making better choices. So 25% of babies who are born to an HIV-infected mother go on to develop AIDS. They go on to develop AIDS. 25% who actually were born with it. Sometimes it leaves the body naturally. But if they test the mother ahead of time and they can treat her, the baby, Gesundheit, has a 90% chance of being born without it. So we're really happy with modern science. But then if the mother still has it and she dies when the baby's 5 years old and now the baby's an orphan, I mean, in Africa, we have millions of orphans now because both parents died. It's just so tragic, you know. Each year, 1.8 million worldwide become HIV infected. 900,000, almost 1 million people die of AIDS-related illness. Nobody dies of AIDS. Nobody dies of HIV. We die of the opportunistic diseases that take over the weakened immune system. This is another form of Kaposi sarcoma. This little baby is only 18 months old. This is not an old guy, but because of the AIDS, he looks really wasted. Right. This was a Romanian hospital. Many babies who were born with HIV, they just threw them in the hospital, so they found all these AIDS babies there. It was kind of sad. 1 out of 4 people in the world do not know they're infected. 1 out of 4 people who are infected do not know that. Oops. Okay. So this is how people were when I first started working. You know, I don't want to see this. I don't want to hear about this. I don't want to talk about this. Good. Invite me, I'll talk about it. Does denial protect us? No. Make it worse. Thank you. So, you know, I have some graphic images here. Do we have like 3 more minutes, or do you want to wait? Okay. Before we get into the graphic pictures. The guy's saying, great.